As we continue for the rest to join us, to your neighbor, anyone else that you see around, get to know who they are, what they do, their business card, and that will be a good thing. Take it away. Ladies and gentlemen, the lovely ushers will show you to your seats, and as you sit down, you're listening to the lovely jams. Dawn and friends, I am Damaro. I shall be the host for today. Karibuni sana. You may have your seat. Welcome one and all. Say hi to your neighbor even as you're coming in. Make sure they look like they're in a celebratory mood, because today is a good day, a momentous day. The lovely ladies will show us to our seats, so feel free. And the gentlemen who are well dressed, karibuni sana, as we enjoy the lovely tunes from Dawn and Friends, even as we wait for the rest of the team to arrive. We have quite a few guests still streaming in, so once they're settled we shall begin. But as I said again, we have some lovely jams from Dawn and Friends, the band, so feel free to enjoy them. If you have requests, tell me and I'll see if they can put it into the mix as we wait for the rest to check. we have a few more guests who are still coming up. We have a bit of a challenge in getting everyone up the elevators all at once, so we are coming in bits. But once everyone is seated, we shall begin. For now, to know your neighbors, know who they are, as we listen to the nice tunes from Dawn and Friends, and we shall begin in the next few minutes. Kindly, we have the lovely ladies and gentlemen who are awesomely dressed in blue and white. They'll be able to show us to our seats. And once you've sat down, we'll be able to begin in the next few minutes. We are streaming in slowly because we want to come in great fashion. We have just a great group of people who've just stepped out of the elevators. Come in, welcome. You'll be shown to your seats by the lovely, lovely ushering team that is standing right at the door. So feel free to come in, sit down, say hi to your neighbor, mingle a bit, and enjoy the nice jams that are currently playing. And once you've done that, ensure that you know who you're seated next to, because you never know, they might be the next big name that you would need to relate with. But as you continue, enjoy the jams from Dawn and Friends. Yes, there it is. All right, for those of us who are still just coming in, welcome. We have the lovely ushering team that will show you to your seats. So feel free to enjoy your sitting and enjoy your neighbor's company once you've been directed to where you shall sit. Ladies and gentlemen, we are still settling a few more guests, so kindly bear with us. Once they are settled in, we shall begin promptly today's celebrations. But for now, get to interact with your neighbor, get to know who they are. That is, if you already don't know who they are. If you know who they are, feel free to move to the next table and just say hi to the people who are seated there, and that will be a good thing. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome all. Thank you for coming to today's celebration. I would kindly ask that we be upstanding for the national anthem. And once we are done with the national anthem, we shall remain standing, and I shall invite Reverend Matthews to come and open for us with a word of prayer. But for now, the national anthem.
Ilete baraka kwetu, haki wengao na mlinzi, na tukae na undugu, amani na uhuru, raha tupate na ustawi. Oh God of all creation, bless this our land and nation. Justice be our shield and defender. May we dwell in unity, peace and liberty. Plenty be found within our borders.
Let's remain upstanding as I welcome Reverend Matthews to just open for us with a word of prayer.
We shall pray. Let me ask that we bow as we honor God this evening. Dear Heavenly Father, we bow before you tonight in the name of Christ Jesus, our Lord, our Savior. We invoke the heavens tonight for this wonderful work that is wrought among your people. We thank you for Athiani. Thank you for the work that they do in dissemination of information and entertainment of your people. And we pray that the virtues that are displayed even before us tonight will continue to be exemplary and will continue to be the hallmark of this institution of communication. And so we commend them to you as we commend ourselves to you tonight for this move into this new premises. May your blessings be upon everyone, those that are part of its conception, the vision, and the mission, and those who partake in hearing the messages therein. We ask your blessings. And for tonight, may your hand be stretched out to us to receive that which you have prepared for us through this institution of the Athiani. This we ask in Christ's wonderful name. Amen.
Thank you, sir. You may have your seats. Kindly, even as you have your seat, just say hi to your neighbor. Give them a nice firm handshake or a high five if you so wish. Brilliant. All right. Now that you've said hi to your neighbor, okay, now we can stop saying hi to our neighbors. I think the greetings are enough. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Our chief guest, Honorable C.S. Joe Musheru, Chairman of Athiani Holdings, Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka, and the board members that are present here of Athiani FM, Honorable Vinya, Principal Secretary Fatuma, thank you for being here, members of parliament, senators, MCAs, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, how are you? Are you well? Are you happy to be here? The person who says hi to me probably gets a gift at the end of this. So hi, are you well? That was the trick, yeah? All right, you will all get a gift, all right? Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to be here with us to celebrate this move by this lovely, lovely team of Athiani FM. For now, just before we kick off, I'd like to welcome Don and friends to give us a quick number, and then we'll come and continue with today's program.
One day, when the glory comes, it'll be ours, it'll be ours. Oh, one day, when the glory comes, it'll be ours, it'll be ours. Oh, glory, glory, glory. When the war is won, it'll be ours, it'll be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure, we'll be sure. Oh, glory, oh, glory, oh. One day, when the war is won, we will be sure, we will be sure.
and friends, thank you for that lovely, lovely number. Ladies and gentlemen, may I call the house to order? Like to call the house to order. Thank you so much. It is my pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome Athiani FM's CEO to give a few welcoming remarks, and then we shall continue with today's celebrations. And this is none other than Kevin Wasya. A round of applause for Kevin, even as he makes his way up here. So when you see the CEO, he's a young guy. He likes to come in fashionably late. That's why he's taking his time getting up here. But here is a round of applause for Kevin.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think I would first like to demystify our MC's claims. I do not like to be fashionably late. I have been here from, say, 8 a.m. in the morning. Nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, Cabinet Secretary for Information Technology, Mr. Joe Musheru, we want to thank you for gracing our occasion. Board Chairman, His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka, and the board members, we have Philip Mwema and Senator Sylvia Kasanga, we thank you. Members of Parliament present, Honorable MCAs, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. We want to thank you for basically just coming through and believing in the brand of Athiani FM. We know we have been, a lot of you maybe might not know who we are, but those that are in media, the media agencies, the media planners, and some corporates might understand who we are. But just to give you a brief history of who we are a vernacular Kamba radio station that broadcasts mainly in the lower eastern region, and that's Kitui, Machakos, and we have one more, Makueni. Yes, I can see Senator Junior here. So Kitui, Machakos, and Makueni. Nonetheless, we're in 22 counties, so we have a broad reach. And for us, you know, this is our 6th year. We've been in operation since 2012. And this is part of our strategy of growth. Therefore, we started off as a small radio station with only about five, 6 staff. And now I can proudly say that we are over 30. And some of you have been ushered in by the gentlemen and the ladies in the beautiful white and blue dresses. And that's our team. We boast a young, dynamic, you know, vibrant team. As you can tell, there are not, a lot of us are not, you know, we still consider ourselves the youth. That's under 35. So we've really tried to, you know, bring up youth empowerment and do something for those that consider themselves the youth. Because for the longest time we have had, and you'll forgive me those that are senior in terms of those that have been there in government, but you know, we have been marginalized. But since the new constitution has come in with devolution, we want to give thanks to, you know, the powers that be that have allowed the youth to come up. And we have, again, our chief guest, who's Joe Musheru, and again, championing for the youth, and we want to thank you for that. Asante sana. I do not want to bore you with a lot of stories. The story of Athiani is quite simple. We want to inform, educate, and entertain in all one measure. And therefore, again, through our team, we've got, I think those that listen to us know our team members, they know our presenters. There are those presenters who've been with us from the beginning, and that's the kind of family we want to bring up. You know, we have been together from the beginning, and we hope that we continue being together through it all. As we grow, as we, again, we will not be youth forever, but still we will bring in those that are behind us. So tunawashukuru again for gracing our occasion. We have a lot of people that have come, and I'm thankful for that. I want to give a special thanks, and I know this will come with a vote of thanks, but we have our interior designers. We have A to Z Studios, headed by one Zamir Vaji. I think he's around. But again, vote of thanks will come through. I want to give special thanks to him because he and myself have been pioneers of this project. We wanted to bring about a change in perception. Unajua, you'll allow me to speak in Kiswahili. Unajua kwamba there are people who perceive vernacular kama kitu ya mashinani. As you've seen and as you shall see, that there are those, when you go down to our studios, we want to change the perception. Hata watu wa mashinani bado wako uptown, you know, and you'll allow me to say that because, again, with the advent of devolution, a lot of things have trickled down to the bottom. Therefore, we want to be the pioneers of the change. And that comes around with our new studios, our content. We are now looking into the future, and we have actually studios provided to us by a company from the UK called Clyde Broadcast. One of their team members is here. There is Mzuri, Nick Mzuri. He's in the crowd, and I'm sure you shall see him as you interact with the studio. And his technician, there is an able gentleman by the name of Chris. You shall see him, he's the tech guy. And as you view all these things, I want us not to lose the focus of who we are. Athiani, there is the I. We want to be the I of the community. Therefore, in trying to put us in our place, we have tried to give the best for our audience because they are our main consumers. We do have corporates here, and we thank you, the ones who are main corporate clients, the ones who actually pay our bills. Tunawashukuru sana. But the main consumers are and continue to be the audience, the listeners. And these are the people that we try to impact the most. Therefore, as being the eye of our community, we strive to do that. But let me not lose it at just being a Kamba vernacular station. We are well listened to in areas. As I said, we cover 22 counties, and we have a very vibrant reggae raga show, which plays every afternoon. And this show is listened to even in parts of Central, in parts of Upper Eastern. And therefore, we appeal to, I suppose, the larger community, which is, you know, our country, Kenya. So I want to thank everybody. Once again, thank you for gracing our occasion. We have a program to go through, so I won't take a lot of your time. But once again, I want to thank everybody. That is a brief. I am, as has been mentioned, Kevin Wasya, CEO of Athiani FM. Tunawakaribisha, tunawashukuru, asanteni sana.
Wow. When I grow up, I want to be like Kevin. Ladies and gentlemen, I know that today is a weekday evening, so as Kevin has said, we don't want to take up a lot of your time. So allow me to quickly call up the next person to give a few remarks, and this is the chairman of the board of Athiani Holdings, Mheshimiwa Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka. A round of applause even as he comes. And even as he comes, I'd like to tell you a story about Mheshimiwa. The last time I was with him, we were celebrating a lovely wedding. And we were dancing a lot. And all he was telling me every time was, MC umetumwa. Sikuwa nimetumwa. But welcome. It's good to see you again. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much, Bwana MC. Mheshimiwa Joe Mocheru, Cabinet Secretary for Information and Technology, and your Principal Secretary, Mheshimiwa Senators ambao wako hapa. You can see Senator Junior and Senator Ambua, and members of Parliament, the board members. I'm now a little bit scared having to speak after what I heard of Kevin. So when you allow them to grow, they grow very fast. And they take their space. Because this is really the issue about the youth. You take up your space. And I think Kevin is proving out to be a very good example when it comes to the holding together of Athiani. It's not my day. I just want to appreciate the wonderful work of the team and Kevin and the history. But Minister Joe Mochero asked me, what is the meaning of Athiani? And I just want to say that Athiani is a very special Kamba terminology. In the olden days, when the community tried to organize themselves as a kingdom, and they didn't quite succeed, but they were very warlike. Anybody will tell you, a gentleman sitting opposite you is grandson to a famous Kamba general called Jackson Kimeu Mulinge. It's a tradition. The fighting spirit is in the Kamba community. And it started of old. Before they went to war, they would actually assemble in the presence of a Muthiani. Now that was like the supreme leader who would then give his blessings. And then he would send out the Athiani. Now these are men and women, mainly men. There are very few girls that time who would undertake this responsibility. They were like, you remember in the old Bible, the story of Caleb and the spies? They are not quite spies, because I don't like the word spy, but they would go and bring word to the Muthiani, and then the Muthiani would bless them. And so this is a story, and I'm quite sure as they conceptualize the naming of this station, they took that into account, that the community will need that kind of guidance. Therefore, as Kevin tried to explain, the logo itself, which in my view becomes intellectual property. I hope the company has already moved to register that as a patent. May I introduce the other board members? Philip Mwema is a foreknown tax advisor. The other day we launched Edison Tax, and I made people really, because C.S. Rotich was supposed to grace that occasion. But when it didn't come, I took the opportunity to say, had we won, the we in quotes, most likely Philip Mwema will be the CS Treasury. That's how qualified he is. And then we have very young and Senator Sylvia Kasanga, one of the foremost architects in this country. If you want to know the ability of the young, like Sylvia, again, who have grabbed the opportunity, you take the opportunity. I think the time to kind of say leadership for the youth is, these are leaders for tomorrow. That thing is archaic. The youth have to take their position now. And that is what Sylvia Kasanga has done. If you want to see an iconic building called Limak, just not very far from here, it's a skyscraper. Limak is the work, the brain kind of exercise of Senator Sylvia Kasanga. And I know there are many like that as well. So she brings to Athiani that kind of expertise. And I'm quite sure, CS, as you go down, you look at the studios, you might probably be convinced that they could be among the best anywhere, not in this country, but in the region. I want to really congratulate the Athiani team, all of them, the streamers, people, and they have wonderful names. A name like So Wambuba, the trumpet. That name is trumpet, and in So Wambuba, the trumpet, and his father is the one who blows it. Is he here? Yeah. And you have very interesting names, and I want to really to appreciate you because you're doing well. You gather information even before other people get there. But I think now Thomas is operating the chief operating officer after Kevin. This young man, has done tremendous work for Athiani. He actually started it, and he never gave up. So, and he's very well known within the corridors of the Communications Authority of Kenya. I want to assure you, CS, that this is one station that will never spread hate messages. And because I think this is very important in order to bring cohesion together. It's very easy to work towards cohesion. It's very easy for vernacular stations to say things that are very difficult. And there are always temptations to do so. But Athiani has remained balanced, and I think it's thanks to the very solid management of people like Thomas and Kevin and the young ones. And you know, I've been trying to figure out some of the most popular. There's a lady called Massima Weir. I don't know whether she's in the room. When other people are working, all the workers in this country, including Kikuyus, not just Kambas, because all the Kikuyus can follow Kikamba very easily, and those from Embu. Those who work during that time love to listen to the wonderful voice of a lady called Lucy Massima Weir. All of them are excellent, and I'm quite sure they are moving to this new place because they're operating from outside of Kawangware, and it wasn't always very easy for them. I think they feel that this is now they're coming closer to where things should happen. So I'm sure this is so motivational, and I want to really commend you for what you have done, standing during difficult times. And that is why the CS himself has taken the opportunity to come and grace this occasion by first of all moving from where you are to ultra-modern studios. And those of you who may not go down to see exactly, because we cannot all go down, I'm told that they'll be able to stream. So you'll be able to follow what CS Macheru and Reverend Mwalwa will be doing, because this is something that we want to thank God for. And Reverend Mwalwa, thank you for coming to also bless this occasion and be able to pray for the success of this station going forward. But otherwise, I really appreciate the work of all the other stations from the region. They are worthy stations. I don't know whether you invited Musie, Mbaitu, and other stations to be able to come. And the media. This is actually a media thing. Today I had occasion to receive a delegation for the management team of Media Max. I think they are very big. They swallowed Milele FM. they continue to grow. And so our request to you, CS, is if you can just give this station, and I hope it's not a very difficult request, that they would want to reach the communities out in the coast region, in Kwale, in Mombasa, in Tana River, and all those places. There are huge communities out there that they just get that frequency. And I'm quite sure the people in Mombasa and places have been requesting for it. With that frequency, believe you me, you'll be very proud of the work of this station. I think I just wanted to say that and really appreciate all of us for coming, the business community, the leaders. Kevin was complaining that we are going to swamp this place with politicians. But I think we have balanced it. Not too many of us have come. Daniel Manzo, as usual, came rather late. If you thought Kevin was late, then talk to Daniel. And he's always busy doing something. It is not that out of idleness, but he's always busy, either watching some brief in court or doing something. But he always makes it. So I really once again want to appreciate a young man called Zamir. Zamir and the family, I don't know whether Zamir is here. He has done a terrific job. Of course, sometimes beating the deadlines, I would check, not interfere so much, because as I said, I've given Kevin and the team the space to run this thing. I would be remiss if I did not mention that my wife, Pauline, is watching this event, and she would want to be here, but she's, of course, overcoming the little challenges that have been facing her. She is the originator of the Athiani dream. And I think I want to really give her a big clap. And I'm quite sure it's going to be all well with us. So we're so grateful. And now, Bwana MC, can I do the next thing? And welcome the CS. Thank you. On that note, CS, you have heard our request. Allow us when we go for the TV station as well, because we want to build this family. It probably will rival Media Max very soon, and others, including Royal Media. I think Royal Media, watch out. Yeah, my friend SK Macharia and the team, they have done a terrific job. But this space, watch this space. And so look at how youthful that minister is. He has already taken the space. He comes from a golfing family. If you allow me that, minister, I did a little check around, and your own mom, terrific golfer. That's why look at him and look at me. If you don't want to grow old, keep this kind of shape. He's one of the best in IT, not just in this country, but in Africa. I believe this is a world leader, and I have every reason to believe that is so. And we work together, not just here, but even over Konza, because now you are responsible for Konza City development. We'll all be moving in that direction. So please join me in welcoming Cabinet Secretary Joe Mochero.
Chairman of the Board of Athiani, Honorable Your Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka, the board members, members of Parliament, Senate, business community, good evening. Let me first start, Chairman, with greetings from His Excellency the President, and congratulations for this launch. As I came here, I had to speak with him on this, and he sends his congratulations. So it is great when we see this kind of development, this kind of success. I listened to Kevin here discussing, and I see he's still very busy, but it's great to have the kind of energy he has. So that we can be able to see how we can bridge. There's a digital divide, there's a technology divide, there's many divides, including a language divide. We were speaking earlier, and I was saying how, language is one of the most important assets we have as a community. And unfortunately in Kenya, language has been, to some degree, demonized and called tribal, but it is not. There are very many things that you cannot translate in these languages that we now have. Even when you introduce things like machine learning, you introduce artificial intelligence, it will still take a very long time for those languages to be translated so that people can understand. At the same time, we have a huge community of our people who still don't speak the national languages. So we must be able to reach them. And therefore, it is great to have stations like Athiani now improving their infrastructure so that they're not only available on the airwaves, they're also going to be available on mobiles because they are streaming, and therefore even people overseas can be able to listen. So Your Excellency, even with frequencies, say for Mombasa and other places, when you go online, you will be able to reach everyone across the world that can be able to understand the different languages. And as I hear, even those that dance reggae and enjoy the reggae music, irrespective of the language, they will be able to participate. For us as government, we are pleased that these are the fruits of the digital migration, which we fought very hard to get. The number of stations have increased to almost 165 now, radio stations, almost 70 TV stations. And this means a lot of content and a lot of jobs. If Athiani has moved from 5 to 30 employees in such a short period of time, you then multiply that by almost 60 and another, I would say 65 TV and radio stations. Those are many, many, many jobs. But more importantly, if you don't have information, then you're lost. They say information is power. And this is one of the ways to ensure that the community has the right information. The logo of the eye is very interesting. It means you can see for the community and then you share this knowledge with them. As a country, we're creating a community that is helping all of us be able to grow and work together in unison. We need to focus primarily on development, but in many cases, people don't understand or don't know what are the things going on. And so we need to continuously inform our people of what is happening on the ground. I see some of the senators, some from the ICT committee who have been grilling me for questioning me about media and whether government and myself continue to support media. I can assure you, we support media and media freedom 100%. Without it, we're not going anywhere. And some practical examples. If you look at a country, if you cannot advertise your product, then you cannot be able to grow that business will stand and it will shut down. Advertisement is one of the most important assets that countries have. And so the opportunity to have, companies where you can go and advertise your products, your services, and for government providing information, where you can actually educate the community and educate even our kids, it's really critical. And therefore, for us to see development and growth, it is as important for government to see a free and fair media as it is for the media itself. So I can assure you, and this is not just from me, but even from His Excellency the President, that a free media is one of the key development tools that we have and that we want to continue to use and to grow. For many of the businesses, I think today it's not always clear where should you advertise. I think if you go back a few years, everybody used to watch the 9 o'clock news, and therefore you could all talk about what was on the 9 o'clock news. So if you advertised then, around the 9 o'clock news, you knew everybody could hear. Now, a lot has changed. You have so many vernacular stations, you have online social media, you've got the papers, where do you really advertise? As you get more and more sophisticated and digital stations, when you have this kind of studios now being set up, the station can be able to assure the advertiser, these are the number of people you will reach, this is where these people are, and here is the value for money that you will get. So as government, we're working hard to ensure that we are going to have ways of being able to have this audience measurement so that it's clear for advertisers. Some of the people still believe that you put a billboard and everybody will come there, whereas that is true. There's even other ways. And using digital measurements allows for those businesses to be able to take advantage of how they can reach our communities. I will say that the communities and where we have reached today have to be brought together. We were speaking earlier with His Excellency to see how we can actually, in this quiet environment where we want to grow, we can actually now start having communities come together, talk and learn each other's languages, learn each other's proverbs, because those are the ways we will enjoy. There's this risk that many of our children might never speak our mother tongues. And in many ways, they are going to lose a lot. I do hear Kikamba also, and a bit of Meru here and there. But we need to get our children also to start understanding languages, because that's where culture really is. I was seeing Ezekiel Mutua has many dramas online about values and culture, and I won't bring him here. I'm not sure what understanding he has in this group, but he's one that's fighting for culture and all these things, but I think it should be something we all take into account. You check, many of the big companies now have created these things called artificial intelligence. So those of you who have iPhones, you can speak to your phone and tell it to do a few things. There's some application called Siri. And Siri is not a secret. You can tell it many things. For many of us, you're told Siri, you think it's Kiswahili. It is not. But you try and speak to Siri in Swahili. They'll not understand. And so over time, if we're not careful, we're going to actually find ways where we are going to be lost, and all of us will be speaking either the American language. People like IBM have Watson and other different systems. So we need to be careful. Those systems cannot translate our accents, our languages. I give an example of difficult to translate Kimeumana. It is hard for an American to understand that. Actually, even try put it in your mother tongue. Even in your mother tongue, it's still hard. This idea of things are lost in translation are there. So, Your Excellency, the board, and the team of Athiani, you are doing a great job to ensure that our languages are preserved, that our languages continue to expand, and in a way, we can also still keep our people in the rural areas. We improve services for them there. We ensure they have good connectivity. We're hoping by the end of the year, we're going to have the 4G network coverage across the whole country. And not just using Universal Service Fund, but using new technologies that are coming in, balloons and others. When you see 4G available across the whole country, it then means your service can be streamed across the whole country, and you can have those services very, very affordably. So once again, congratulations from us. We assure you we will look into the spectrum that you're asking for, as well as the license for TV. I think we are open as a government to license as many people as they are, and I would be glad if you can catch up and overtake Raw Media Services and Nation and everyone. Then we will have competition. Everyone has been asking about competition, but many of our companies, Safaricom included, they are not that large. Safaricom is number 11 in Africa. So there are some people saying that it should be broken or this should happen. I think the aspirations I'm seeing with Athiani is that you want to grow and be big and compete with the big ones, not to bring the big ones down. So I think that's a great way to work. It's a great way to grow a country, and we will support you all the way. I'm glad you're supporting payment of taxes. I know it's a topic that everyone is asking about, but I can assure you things are going to get better, and get better actually quite soon. There's been a huge struggle to ensure that the systems and the way we work properly, there's no corruption and so on. But I think as that is getting cleared, we're going to have a clear way forward that is going to improve lifestyles. These are the things that the government is busy working on, looking at how we can make life easier for everybody, bringing the price of flour and many of these things down. And we hope that Athiani will be able to communicate a lot of our information, a lot of our strategies, so that everybody out there is able to work on that. Everybody is able to know when is the planting season, harvesting, where the markets are, all these things we want to work on. So this is an evening where we don't want to speak too much. As you know, I'm also not a politician. I'm a technocrat. So I'll thank you all for this opportunity. And I'm not sure if I'm supposed to declare the studio open or that's coming later. It's coming later, higher. So studio is still closed for those who are wondering. Thank you.
Let's give the minister a big clap. He has actually said a mouthful, really a mouthful. And so when I talked about one board member being a tax expert, I was trying to tell you there's a lot of conversation in that area. It's still ongoing. And the fight against corruption and all of that. But today I really didn't want to go that way. I forgot to introduce one other member in absentia, Kennedy Musyoka. Now these young men are very interesting. They know if they use the name Kalonzo, they get complicated calls. So they are Kennedy Wasya and Kennedy Musyoka and Kevin Wasya. And Klein is actually a media person himself. Not yet in the board because you have to earn getting up to the board. And so I'm sure the sky will really be the limit. And now, Bwana MC, back to you.
Thank you, Honorable Kalonzo and Honorable CS Joe Musheru. Thank you for those wise words. A round of applause for them one last time. Now, I've been told I need to say hi to the people in the balcony. Hi, people in the balcony, how are you? Wasyata. The answer is Nessa. Wasyata. Nesser, yeah. CS Joe, we are learning. If you notice, ladies and gentlemen, there are some few snacks that are going to be at your tables in the next few minutes. So kindly enjoy the bitings as I welcome the lovely band, Dawn and Friends, to give us a number, and we'll come back to officially open the offices in the next few minutes. Dawn and Friends, karibuni sana.
Tabia za kupendeza roho, tabasamu ya kupapasa macho, sauti yako nikisikia pia natulia, yanipunguzia hasira nazo, urembo wako ulinenasa roho, siku ya kwanza kukuona kwa macho, moyoni nimekwamia, siwezi kutania, njoo nipunguzie mawazo. And I feel you in the air when I breathe, and I see you in my dreams when I sleep. You're the only thing I've been all my life, yeah. Deep down in my heart I believe, unanifeel in it real. You're the one I've been waiting for all my life now. Because I wanna walk in my life. Wote wanakuiga wendo mama yao, ni wewe nachagua, siseme na, siseme baby uko sawa na, wote malaika na mabawa yao, wote wanakuiga wendo mama yao, ni wewe nachagua, siseme na, siseme na, siseme. Just to be in love, baby, you know I love you, and there's no one above you. I need you in my life forever and ever. You will always be my heart. We're meant to be together, me and you. Oh, me and you. 'Cause wote malaika na mabawa yao, wote wanakuiga wendo mama yao, ni wewe nachagua, siseme na, siseme oh baby uko everything. Child, you know you're my everything. Yeah. Oh, sweet thing. Child, you know you're my everything. Yeah. Oh, sweet thing. Child, you know you're my
As we continue enjoying the nice sounds from Don and friends and the nice bitings that are being provided at your tables, a kind reminder is that just hold on to where you are even as you're interacting with your friends and your neighbors. We have a cake that is on its way up here. We are about to cut it. Then once we cut it, we shall have a chance to be able to see the new offices and studios of Athiani FM. So for now, just hold on. In the next few minutes, we shall be cutting the cake. And once we cut the cake, we shall allow our honored guests to move downstairs and be able to start viewing as we partake of the cake, and then the rest of us will also have a chance to view. For now, Don and friends, tuendelea kutuzindikisha tafadhali.
Say I won't leave her. My baby, I believe I'm in love. Sweet love. Here we come, your name. And I feel my shame. I'm in love. Sweet love. Don't you ever go away. I just want to be close. time tonight, girl. I'm brothers on the stars that watch it. Don't be afraid to show it all. I'll be right here ready to hold you underneath the chandelier. We're dancing all alone. There's no reason to hide what we're feeling inside right now. So maybe let's just turn.
Just a kind reminder that in the next few minutes we shall be cutting our lovely cake to commemorate and signal the official opening of the Athiani FM studios and new offices. So kindly hold on. Please have a bite to eat if you've not had something to eat and to drink. And then we shall cut the cake in the next few minutes, even as Don and friends give us some nice jams. As we continue to enjoy the nice jams from Dawn and friends, In the next few minutes, we'll be cutting the cake, so I kindly ask for those of us who are outside, kindly have your seat so that we can be able to conclude today's program by cutting the cake. And my, oh my, does it look ever so lovely and sumptuous. So kindly, if you're still outside, we ask that you may come in and sit down so that you may cut the cake and conclude today's celebrations. Ladies and gentlemen, for coming in. For those of us, I know salamu zimekuwa mingi. Naomba sasa tuweze kukaa chini ili tuweze kukata keki ya leo. Our wonderful cake is ready for us. The guys at the balcony, don't worry. You will also get some cake. Sounds like a good deal. Yes? Hatujawasahau, tuko pamoja. Wasya? Nasser, thank you. All right. I'd like to call the house to order, please. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Time has come for us to have a bite of this lovely, lovely cake that has been prepared for today's celebration. And to help us cut the cake, we have, of course, our CEO himself, Kevin. Where are you, Kevin? Please just make your way to the table. We have our chairman of the board, please make your way, and our CS Joe, please make your way to the cake so that you may be the first to cut, as well as the board. We also have the board. Please make your way to the cake, the board. Welcome. I just ask that once you cut, as well as our PS, please make your way to the cake. Mimi ninaomba tu mkikata keki mkate kubwa, musikate ndogo. Tunataka kuenjoy keki to the fullest. so much, our board members, our honored guests. Thank you for cutting the cake for us. We look forward to eating a piece of that cake. It looked quite sumptuous while you were having it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the order of events for the next few minutes will be as follows. We will have one of the members of Athiani FM, the head of marketing and PR, coming to give the vote of thanks. And then we shall invite Reverend Matthews to close for us once.
I'd like to call the house to order, please.
I'd like to call the house to order, please. All right, thank you so much. So as I just mentioned, the order of events for the next few minutes is we have our closing remarks by John Mark in the next few minutes, and then Reverend will close for us. And immediately after that, we shall have our honored guests moving down to be the first people to be able to see the new offices and the studios that will be led by the Athiani team.
Endelea kidogo. Connect for me here.
For the rest of us, we'll just stay back a bit, enjoy the music, and then once they're done, we'll move down and be able to view the new offices and the studios. For now, let's welcome John Mark, head of marketing and PR at Athiani FM. A round of applause for John Mark as he comes.
Narudisha mic. Tosha. Taka side gani wewe? Sasa ni right side.
Come today. But I want us, before we really move further, some of you have seen a pictogram of an eye, and they ask, what does that get to do with an eye? Is this an eye clinic or something? But I want to tell you, no, this is the eye that sees the lower eastern topography and communicates that information to our people. Before I go further, kindly.
Don't worry. As we are still on. No, we are still on.
Sikatai, we need to go down. Ungetaka kuona wale watu wanadominate the lower eastern airways? Would you like to see them? Kindly, staff members that come. Staff members who are here, tafadhali, quick one. Mr. Wasya Kevin. Staff members, staff members, all of you. Keynote, please, all of us here. Wonderful. Word of applause as they come in. Staff members were here, yes. How is that wonderful attire today? Good. Thank you as you come in. Thank you guys as you come in. Coming staff members, wote wa Athiani tukilitoka hapa. This is your day. Thank you very much, our chairman. Thank you. Allow me at this time to ask our chief operating officer to introduce this team to you. Allow me to ask our chief officer, Mr. Thomas Kilonzi. Kuja uintroduce team yako. Yes, just make a good curve. Thank you. Wonderful. Yes. Wonderful. Wow, super team, eh? These are the guys who dominate the lower eastern topography. These are the guys who push yes. Thomas Kilosi to introduce his team. Thank you.
Good. You just go. Yeah, so when you're first on the spot,
Sir.
Camera